Welcome back to Manor Lords. Last time we were playing on the edge on the default difficulty, and my intention was to continue that series. I sat down to do the second recording session, and honestly, it was just too easy. The town we had like 2 or 3 years worth of food stocked up. We had tons of firewood. When we got into our first fights with bandits, we had absolutely no problems with them. It just wasn't really there wasn't really any tension to the gameplay. So we're going to start again, but I'm going to get through the beginning of the game. It's going to be very difficult. That's the plan. So we're going to play on the restoring the peace scenario this time. This means that there are 2 territory sectors owned by another baron who will send in armies from off-map when we challenge them. We have to claim those 2 territories to win the game. We actually have to conquer the entire map, which will take a while. I've put it on the challenging preset template, but I've increased the difficulty as well. So we have a domination victory. There's an off-map adversary present. AI aggressiveness is set to aggressive. That might prove a really big problem later on. I've set raider frequency to frequent, and I've put raider free years to only 1. And that means they could happen before then. There's a bandit camp on the map from the start, and there's a maximum of 3 bandit camps on the map at any one time. I have also set our starting supplies to nothing, which means that all we begin with are 2 timber. There's no food, there's no supplies of any kind, it's just 2 timber, which is going to make getting ourselves set up very difficult. The other thing means we don't have any regional wealth, which means we can't get chickens or vegetables or another ox. All of that we need to earn some other way. Additionally, there is no armament delivery, which means when we build 5 houses, we don't get 20 free spears and shields. We'll have to make them ourselves. The requirements for residents are much harder, and it's even harder to get them approval from them, and also weather may actually cause fires, and raids will instantly destroy exposed supplies. So that should sound like a decent challenge. Now I have a strategy for how I think we're going to get through this, and I'm going to try and spin through the early game to get back to where we were quite quickly, and we'll go from there. I will see you in the map. And here we are. This is our starting location for this game. First of all, the most interesting thing to begin with is that we're actually in the middle of the map. I thought that was quite an interesting one. I'm pretty sure that means we can still trade, but trade will take a little bit longer to get to us, and if we call in any mercenaries, they all have to come in from one of these off-map slots to get to us. They'll have to march quite far to get to us. We're also adjacent to one of the enemy barons' territories, which is another interesting thing. Now, as I mentioned before, we are starting with only 2 logs and an ox. We have nothing else. We have no construction supplies, we have no food, we have no fuel, we have no crafting materials, nothing. We also have 0 regional wealth. At the moment, approval is fine, but that will go down very quickly. Now, I have played around with this start a little bit to make sure it's possible, and one of the things I was doing was I was upgrading our homeless people tent to a worker camp straight away. This is not worth doing because as soon as you do that, you unlock people's requirements for buying things from the marketplace, and we're not ready to do that straight away. The only things that we've got on our side here is that we've got a rich animal deposit right next to our start, and we have a rich iron deposit. This rich iron deposit is how we're going to hopefully win the game, or at least get going. We need to get trade set up pretty quickly to get regional wealth growing. We're going to sell this iron as soon as we can. But first of all, we need to get constructing. So I'm going to slap down a logging camp. Oh, they're not right next to the animals though. I want to put the logging camp here. I want to clear this wood from the middle of the map to start with. So we're just going to put a logging camp right here. And I'm also going to place down a hunting camp because hunting camps don't have any requirements in terms of what they need to be built just here. I'm going to set the logging camp priority to high, and we're going to unpause the game. I'm not going to build any roads yet. Actually, we will build roads because it will speed things up. So I'm just going to build a road from here to the wood, and that's the only road we need to start with, and they'll get on straight away with the ox bringing the wood to the lumber mill. What we're going to do is we're going to get a basic town set up as quickly as possible, and then we're going to try and, whenever we can, get a little bit of iron mining going and do some trade. The problem that we've got for this start, and we'll speed things up, is that we only have 5 families. And if you remember, you assign a family to do the work, so basically we only have 5 jobs going at one time, and that is going to slow us down a lot in getting started. The other thing that's going to mess us around is only having 1 ox. Bandits are nearby. We'll track their movement. We've got a year before raiders attack us. We have to get an army up and running within 1 year. That is absolutely essential. Everyone's going to go over and build the hunter's camp now, while the people over here are going to finish off the logging camp. And I'm going to assign 2 families to the logging camp, and we're going to assign 1 family to the hunter's camp. So the hunter's camp's finished. We'll assign a family to that so we can get some food coming in, because you can see we already have a family starving. And unfortunately, everyone went over to the hunting camp for some reason, so we need to get them to come back over to the lumber camp to finish it. There you go, it's getting finished now. And as soon as that's done, just taking their time, we'll get that under construction. We'll get 2 families getting wood out of that because we have no wood at all. Now, our next priority is going to be probably getting a second food source. So we'll want to get gatherers up to get the berries. We also need to start building houses so that the people can start filling their needs. Because as soon as we get people's needs going up, we can start looking at getting more people coming in. As soon as we get this approval rating higher, we can get more people in the town. But there's a lot of things we need to tick off before we do that. Another resource we're going to need sooner rather than later is stone. Unfortunately, our stone reserve is very low and it's quite far away from us. So if you're playing against another player, we actually get to the ability to write to them. So I've heard of your renown. I seek only to defend my rights and my honor against those who would wrong me. I hope you will not judge me by the rumors and slanders that some may spread about me. Signed and sealed by my own seal, Hildebort van Brudeta. We can write back, and I'll say you have no rightful claim to the 2 territories that you have. There's other options here, but I don't think they're quite finished, and we'll send that off. So we've just told him, that's him there. We told him he doesn't have any right to these 2 territories that he's claimed. Okay, this is one of our biggest problems, is that our stone is very far away and we will need to bring stone back to our camp quite a few times. We need a market as well to sell the food at the hunting camp, which will be a problem. We need to get our houses up, we need to get our market up. What we need is we need 10 timber as soon as possible. I'm going to get 3 families in here. We're going to get 10 timber ASAP. We now have 4 food from the hunting camp, which is something. We'll also start getting hides, which we can turn into clothes, which will bring another requirement for our people up. But let's get those 10 timber ASAP. Let's fast forward. What else do we need to do? So we need to get a gathering hut up, but not straight away. But we do need to get 2 different types of food, and we can't rely on chickens or vegetables or goats because we have no regional wealth to buy those upgrades for our burbages. Which is always a problem. And these guys should clear this wood quite quickly, which is nice. They're up to 4 timber already. Because I've got no construction going on, it means that somebody is just using the ox to bring the wood back to the logging camp, which will make the next stage of construction easier. One of the things I've really noticed about the early game is making great use of your ox, making sure that they're not being pulled between lots of different jobs because it will slow everything down. That's us up to 5 timber. Like I say, I want to get to 8 and then we'll get our market up and running and we'll get our houses down. Then we need to get a church as soon as possible. Once we get the church up, we're in a much better position. We need 10 stone for that church, though. I'm pretty sure church is 10 stone. Yeah, we need 10 stone, and we need 20 planks as well, which is 4 wood. Right, that's us on 8 timber. We're almost there. I'll probably build, if we have a look at the area here, I'd like to build the houses kind of in the middle here between these 2 roads. We could actually have a road coming up here to link them together. But it's going to be difficult with the trees, so we may just build our first set of houses here. That's us at 9 wood. Let's get a couple of roads down. I'll build like a road here and I'll curve it like around like this. We'll have our first set of houses along this curve. That's it. We're at 10 now. I'm going to drop this down to 1 family working in the lumberyard. And I'm going to set up a set of 5 houses along here. We'll just build like this. I want to make sure they all have backyard extensions. That's pretty good because we can get some decent extensions on those. Let's get all of them down and building. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, now that we have that set, is I'm going to build a market. And one thing I've been doing wrong, I didn't realize, is building markets way too big. You only want about maybe maximum, I would say, 12 plots in your market, because if you're building a bigger town, you're going to need multiple markets. And if there's too much room in one market, they're not going to move on to the new market. Okay, let's connect this road to our lumber. And don't worry if things are looking messy right now. We will make things look a lot nicer later. I actually just need to connect it to here. I can destroy this road here. And we can connect the hitching post up as well, just so that the ox gets a little bit faster on its movement. And we'll get these houses up and running. You can see that we are down to, we have 1 month's food. We probably have 9 months fuel. I'm not sure where that's coming from. We may have picked up some, I'm not sure. There might be some firewood being cut down here by accident. Our long-term goal is we are going to get the charcoal burning development point to get the charcoal kiln. And then we're going to get deep mining. And deep mining lets you get infinite resources from a rich deposit, which is how we're going to be able to make sure that we don't run out of iron when we're selling it. Okay, we've got a food store down in the market so people can buy food. We're starting to get houses now. This is where things are going to start to get a little bit more difficult, because what's going to happen is people are going to start making more demands. One thing I'm going to build is I'm going to get we go into industry. I'm going to get a tannery, and that's going to help us with our people's need for, I can't actually place it where I want to place it. Oh no, I haven't got enough wood. It's going to help us with our people's need for clothing. So that's one family in a burgage. Sorry, a burgage. Don't know why I call them burbages sometimes, or burgerages. There's another content creator, Renee Sky, who said that in her video, and it's stuck in my head. Okay, they're getting that up and running. We're up to 4 wood now, so we'll also place down a tannery. This is not going to be crude all the time. It's just going to, until we have, I'm going to set it to low priority though, until we have enough leather to open a market store, basically. 3 families are on construction, which is great, because the thing that's holding them back is getting these logs to the burgage plots. That is going to slow things down immensely. You can see it's already starting to happen. As soon as people get homed, we're going to start seeing the crazy demands that they have, and our approval rating is going to plummet. They're not too upset about other things. Actually, our public order is also going down because of unemployment. That's never happened before. Well, we can get people employed soon. That'll be fine, and that'll fix itself. But as soon as everyone gets moved into these houses, it'll start to get a little bit... We don't have a lot of time. It's March already. Because I'm playing at 2 times speed, things are actually moving really quickly. And the sooner we get into like summer and autumn, the scarier things are going to get. So it's all about this ox is what's kind of holding us back. I might actually build a road from here to here, just so that further construction has a way to go. We can build some burgages in this area here. Maybe build our church on this side. We're definitely not going to have a beautifully laid out city to start with. Maybe once we've actually got our supplies and our population under control, I can start moving things around. But we need to get everything kind of up and running ASAP. We're back up to 3 here. I need to start getting planks underway. So I'm going to build a saw pit right next to the lumberyard. I guess we could put it there. I'm also going to set that to low priority. But what that's going to do is, because the logs are just here, it's not going to be too far for them to move these. Again, the ox is our main problem at the moment. If I had the regional wealth for it, I would buy a second ox, but we don't have regional wealth for it. So we basically have to wait for the ox to come back and forward with the logs. That's why I try to build things reasonably close to our logging camp. You can see the logging camp has already cleared quite a lot of these trees. And we're down to, we've got to save there, down to 32. This is really useful having a rich deposit of animals here. That will make life a lot easier. Okay, we have 1 more plot to build, and then you'll see our approval will crash. And we need to get to about 70 approval before we're guaranteed for more people to move in. We also need to have an empty house, but we won't build that right now. We'll get all of this under construction first. We also actually really need to get a woodcutter's lodge as well, because a woodcutter will give us firewood, which we will need, as all of our houses will need firewood. What I might actually do is, just to make the market a little bit easier to get to, I will build a road around it. And then we'll connect this up here. And then what I'll do is I'll actually kill this road, kill this road. We'll build a new road from here to here. And we need to make this low priority as well. And then we'll build a road from, say, here through here to here. There you go, it's a little bit better. So the marketplace doesn't look like much right now, but it will. And we're getting pretty close to where we were in the last video when I ended. So I may slow things down a little bit. Okay, we've now got settlement level 1. We're going to get charcoal burning with our first development point. Now I think charcoal burning might be an extension. No, it might actually be a building we can build. I've not actually unlocked it before. There it is. We can get the charcoal kin. Charcoal kins convert 1 firewood into 2 charcoal. We're not going to be able to do anything with that for a while. You can see now that we've got very unhappy people. Not enough food variety in the marketplace. Not enough fuel in the marketplace. Not enough cloth variety in the marketplace. And our church level is too low. So we're going to try and get our church level up as soon as possible. Once that's done, people will get happy and I can backfill some of the other things. To get a church, we need 10... We need 10 or 20. I think we need 20 planks. We need 20 planks. So that means 4 wood needs to go through the saw pit. So that's our next main goal. All this other stuff needs to be built as well, though. Also, the tents are gone. Let's build a road out to the hunter's camp just so they're not taking too long to get back. We're not building a granary or a storehouse yet. All of these buildings have their own internal storage, which this one is actually already full, which is why we need the tannery up and running. And that internal storage will hold on to the food for us for now. But down the road, it's better to have the granary staff and the storehouse staff because they use hand carts to move equipment around, whereas the staff of the camps and stuff will just carry it around themselves. I feel a bit breakneck. I'm going to take a breath and slow down. You can see that I've been planning this and I'm really keen to show it off, but the nervous energy is high. There's a lot of really cool content being made for Manor Lords, and I just want to make something cool myself. Okay, the swap pit is getting constructed. It's got all the wood it needs. The tannery needs 2 more wood. We're almost at the stage where it might be worth moving the logging camp closer to the trees so that the ox isn't having to carry things as far. Let's just speed back up again. At the moment, nobody is at risk of starving, and that's really important. We want to make sure nobody starves. The other requirements will make people unhappy, but starving is the worst. Okay, that's that. Let's get the saw pit under work. We need to get 20 planks ASAP. Now we have additional... This is where things are going to get difficult because the ox now has requirements to take logs to construction sites. It needs to take logs to the logging camp, and it needs to take logs to the saw pit, which is going to make life a little bit harder for it. This message will pop up every time the guy puts a log into the saw pit. There's nothing we can really do about it. And we have enough generic storage to hold the 20 logs that we need. Okay, tannery's done. Let's get somebody working here so we can get some clothes in the market. That will make people happy. You see they're all going to grab the hides from the hunting camp, which is good because that empties out the storage for the hunting camp so they can get more hides in it. And then they're going to bring them back. And I feel really bad for them because if you haven't looked it up yet, you should look up how medieval tanning was done. This house should probably be being built like over here. Okay, we've got 5 planks already. That's a good start. We've got a woodcutter's lodge up. Let's get someone cutting firewood. We now have no families unassigned from work, which is fine for the moment because we have nothing under construction. What that does mean, though, is nobody can move the ox. So nobody can guide the ox right now. I think a woodcutter will guide the ox, yes. Woodcutter will guide the ox if nobody else can do it, so the ox will still deliver wood. So we now have a clothing stall. Our approval is down to 32%. I think I'm going to have to slow the game down a little bit soon because it is getting scary. We have to get everybody happy before we hit rock bottom approval. And nobody's going to move in until we get good approval as well. These guys will build us a wood cutting stall soon. We're running out of fuel because we've just started to get some and people are buying it as soon as it's being made. That's more sawdust. So we've got 10 planks built. We'll have 15 in a second. There's our firewood stall. So now we have a firewood stall built. People will start buying firewood, and that will start bringing this up. We actually have 3 months of food stocked up from hunting animals, which is a great start. Whew. Is this too fast? I'm sorry if I'm going too quickly. Let's maybe take a second just to enjoy the game a little bit. Now, our next big job is to build a road along here that I'm going to just curve around naturally to here. But I also want it to bring it up to get this stone. So I'm going to build a stone mine here. Now, this is going to take a long time, unfortunately. This is the worst thing about this build, is getting this up and running. It's going to take a really long time to get this built, and it's going to take a really long time to get the stone from it back to our base, to our town. But there's really nothing we can do about that right now. I'm also going to connect up the road from here, sort of like this, to here. And then we want to connect up another road across here at some point. Okay, there's another ruler's army on the map. So our opponent has brought in 2 armies of brigands. Now, when this has happened before, they've brought them in to fight the bandits. So is there a bandit camp on the map? I don't see one, which is concerning. Because usually they bring them in to fight the bandits. If they're coming in to fight us, it's GG. But I don't see a bandit camp. Oh no, there's a bandit camp here. So they're coming to fight the bandits. They're going to pass through our territory. Hopefully they don't kill us as they pass through. There's a chance they could. Okay, don't worry about the fact that we've got nobody available to do construction work. That's fine right now. As soon as we've got a decent number of clothes and all the sawmill is done, in fact it is, we can unassign someone from the sawmill and they will go and they will build the stone mine for us and we'll get the 10 stone and then we can build our church. I'm thinking the church might go right here or right here. What I'm also going to do is, this is a little bit awkward, this area here. Let's delete this road here. And I can maybe fit a Burbage in here. We do actually need another house, just for someone to move into eventually. So while we're waiting for the stone mine to be built, what can I do about putting a house in here? Maybe something like... No, that's too small. Put this here. I mean, is that gonna... And I could put... Yeah, it's a weird shape, but I'm going to put a house plot there, and then we can have another plot here, and another plot here. I want it to be a bit higgledy-piggledy. I also want to, before I forget, build a road around these... That's a nice auto road. Around these plots. Just so that when I build more Burbages, there is a way for people to get around. We've got some streets set up. Because these will end up being my artisans. Because they're closest to the market, they're closest to the church. Now, wait a minute. What is this road here? That did not actually build very well at all. I don't like this road. Let's try that again. I want this road here to kind of come to here and then not curve like that. Maybe to here. Looks like it doesn't want to get too close in. Can I connect it up without it being weird? Yeah. There you go. Nice and tight. Lots of mud. That's what we like in our peasant villages. I don't know what they're complaining about. I built a wonderful home for them already in this rainy area. So we've got some brigands moving, and I don't think we actually got to see any soldiers in the last video, so for those of you that haven't seen them, we can't really see them yet, but there are some brigands moving through these forests. They are just equipped with whatever random stuff they could find. Some of them have clubs and shields and axes. Some of them have clubs. We can maybe watch their fight later. I can hit T to jump to the town center, which is great. Okay, relax. We've got lots of construction equipment. We've got food. We've got some fuel coming in. What else do people want? I think that's everything. The only other thing they want is berries, is another food source. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into construction and we're going to get a forager hut under construction here next to the road. I'm going to set that to low priority. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unassign my people from the logging camp. I don't need any more timber right now. And we're going to build a road from here, like this, around the trees. And it's just going to connect up with our town here. Maybe like, actually, you know what I could do? I could bring it like this and bring it in alongside this house. Like it's almost like it's planned. That's not quite right. If I come back a click. Yeah, like that. So again, it's going to take a while to get these berries. The biggest job right now, though, is we have to get the stone cutter camp done. We've got one log added already. We don't need a lot of stone from the stone deposit, but unfortunately, it's going to be a pain to grab it. We are low on fuel. Yeah, fuel's taking a long time to get, because what's happening is every time the woodcutters get some firewood and bring it into the town, one of these houses buys it. So until they have all completed their internal stockpile, let's make sure this is low as well. Until they've all completed their internal stockpile, we're not going to have any firewood hanging around in the town. I've got two families unemployed right now, which is fine. They're both on construction. We've got no group growth. We actually have a little bit of positive approval from getting the tanning up and running. That's a really easy one to get going. They don't actually tend to buy the clothes. The five leather will probably sit here for a long time. They just want to be able to buy the clothes for some reason. And I'm not going to complain about that. So once we're out of hides, which are about to be, I would like to remove the family from here, but they are running the stall. And I'm not quite sure what the mechanics are of then of re-adding a family later and what happens to the stall. So I'll leave them there if I can. You can tell I've practiced this because it's going well so far. This is our next big challenge, is getting the iron deposit up and running and then being able to trade so that we can start building up some regional wealth before it gets too late in the year. I'm going to speed things up a little bit until the stone deposit is done because there's really nothing we can do while we wait. Here comes the ox. Looks like he's just going to grab a piece of wood out of the forest. We'll need to move the logging camp back here as well to clear out the rest of this wood so that basically we can build our town in this area between these two big roads in the middle of the map. I think that'll be pretty good. He's on his way back to the stonecutters camp. They're all coming to flattened ground, I think, at the gatherer's hut, is my guess. They'll take a left turn here. These people here. No, they're coming to flattened ground at the stonecutters. They're just taking a weird route to do it. Rather than using the road I built, they're taking the main road. I mean, that's fine. Let's actually go at 4 speed until this is done. Okay, that's all the wood for this here. They're now going to build the stonecutter camp. And this is where having a storehouse would be great, because they're not going to. They need to move the wood off of this. But let's get 10 stone gathered from the stonecutters camp. Again, this is also we can build a church. Getting the church means that people will be much happier. Approval is now still struggling, but we will get there. So they're going to come back. They're going to build the gatherer hut. They're going to build the burgage here, and then we'll get started on the church. I'm tempted to build a storehouse first. The reason for that is the storehouse will, the workers from the storehouse will bring the stone back automatically, and that will save us a little bit of time. I might just get that placed. It means we're going to have to get more timber to be pulled out, but we're going to need more timber anyway. I could put the storehouse here. It's a little bit close to the center of town, if I'm being honest. What if I demolish this, build a new... Oh, the puppy just woke up behind me. A new logging camp back here. We'll connect it up. We'll make it low priority. I don't need it right now. We'll connect it up to this road here. And then we'll build the storehouse over here, maybe on the, like, next to the saw pit here. Okay, that's the other ruler's army coming back into view. I really hope they're not here to kill us. So put the storehouse right here. And I will set that to a reasonable speed. Where is the army? I can't see them. There they are. They're crossing through the north of our territory, but they're not coming for our town. I mean, this is 36 guys. That's quite a lot of troops, especially for right at the start of the game. But they're going to take out the bandits, and I'm happy with them doing that. It means that that ruler, when you claim a bandit camp, you get a whole ton of regional wealth. It means that that ruler is going to get the regional wealth, not me. But better that they're dead than going for me. Okay. I think the puppy wants to go out, so I'm just going to pause the game for a second and deal with her, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've taken a breath while I've sorted the puppy out. And one of the things I've done is I've gone through and I've named everybody in the town after people who've commented on the last Manor video. So we've got Shinmail, Reality, Aposty, Aristotle's, Lantia. I couldn't fit all of the full names into a lot of these, so there's maybe numbers cut off. We've got Zinc, Marksman, Cool S, Game of Cain, Meg Leslie, Neurosturgeon, The Led Zepp, Alex56, The Reich Tigers, which I didn't say correctly, Marvin Ninini, Andrew Whitebird, and Bobo Ox. And we'll keep naming people as they move in, of people who've commented on the videos. Also, we need a name for this town, because this is a series I want to keep going until we burn to death. Now, I think I need to take a second to address why I am so panicked. Things are looking pretty good so far. Yes, our approval rate is in the toilet, but we actually have a food supply for our people. Wood is coming in. We're getting the stone that we need to actually we've got 37, so we can stop mining stone. We've got the stone that we need. So why am I so concerned? The reason that I am so concerned is that we do not have any weapons or armor to equip our army with. And we have, for certain, raiders coming in less than 290 days. So I need to get weapons and armor constructed in that time. In order to do that, I need to upgrade burgage plots to level 2, which requires all of these requirements to be met. Water, I haven't built it well yet. All of these requirements to be built, and then I need to have enough regional wealth to afford to get myself a tailor's workshop so that we can make gambesons, and a blacksmith so that we can start making spears. That's the limit. So I need a minimum of 10 regional wealth to do that, on top of what I need to upgrade these to level 2. And that is quite a tall order. Now, we can try and get our manor in time as well, but that will only get us, I think, 6 men, which is not going to be enough to defend our town on their own. Now, this is actually getting a quite angry color. I don't know if that changes over time, but that was a light yellow before. It is now a darker yellow. That's another concern. But let's get these last few buildings up and running. We're going to get, in fact, the Forger Hut is done. So let's get someone assigned to that as well so they can start bringing in food from there. So we'll start getting 2 different types of food in the marketplace, which will encourage people's requirement for additional food types. I'll just take a drink of water. Our next step after that will be we need to get more timber. I think we need 10 timber or 5 timber for a church. For timber, we need 5. For church, we need 5 timber. So once we've got all of this stuff constructed, we can do that. We can probably pull a family out of the tannery if we need to. We could also potentially pull a family out of this camp because we have 5 months worth of fuel. I'm just worried about their marketplace stall if we do that. Probably the one I could afford the most is the tannery, because no one's going to die if they don't get clothes. But at the moment I don't need to do that, so I'm not going to. But as soon as I do, I will. I'm just going to fast forward again, just at ×4 speed, just to get all this stuff constructed. But I'm going to take a breath and slow things down. We're kind of at the same spot I was when I ended the last video, a lot earlier than I was. I think we got the manor built just before Christmas, just before winter, and we're still in spring, and we're going to get most of this stuff built. Okay, that's the army now coming out of these forests, so that's good to know. These forests could actually be a big problem for us because they will block line of sight on anyone invading us. But this is the storehouse going up, and we will get a family working in the storehouse. I think I'll pull the family from the tannery, get them to work here, and they can start bringing the stone over from the stone house, so that when we build the church, we can just bring it from the storehouse rather than bring it from all the way back here, which will take a while. So family out of here, family into here, and hopefully we'll start getting some berries coming in. A granary will help with that, because the granary people will collect from the forager hut and from the hunting camp and bring it into the middle, but we can't afford to build that. We just don't have enough villagers to do that yet. The nice thing is I can actually mouse over people now. We'll see their names. We've got Marksman here. We've got Storehouse here. We've got Meg Leslie coming in. Arsenal Lante. Who do we have over here at the hunting camp? I can't click on them because they're in the camp. It makes it a bit harder. The puppy may bark. I've set her bed up in the room with me. She was snoring earlier. You may have heard her. But she may want me to put her bed back in the other room, which will cause... So if you hear her barking, that's what she wants. Okay, we've got lots of food. We've got firewood building up. We're just waiting for that timber once we get the logging camp rebuilt. Our approval is still not great. They're still saying there's not enough fuel in the marketplace, which is wild because we have so much. But the storehouse will help with that. You can see that Neurosturgeon here now has a hand cart, which they will use to transport the spare hides. Why is somebody still working in the tannery? Oh no, that is someone loading the hides from the tannery to take them to the storehouse. If we're lucky, what will happen is someone from the storehouse will actually come and man the clothing stall. But at the moment, it's abandoned. But what I really need them to do is go and get the stone from the stonecutter's camp, so I don't need to worry about it later. Okay, the logging camp's getting back under construction. I think that's the only... No, we'll wait for this burgage to be built, then I'll get someone to cut down wood again. There's no need to really push it too hard, because it's going to take a while for the stone to get here anyway. It doesn't look like they are collecting the stone. It looks like they're collecting the closest things first. So they're going to get planks from the sawmill. Okay, that's logging camp done. I'll wait for the burgage to be completed. I would like to move the hitching post as well, but that's not urgent. She's going to get more hides. You're going to get firewood. Okay, so they're going to do all the firewood and stuff before they do the stone, which is frustrating. This burgage is almost done. As soon as it is, I'll get this team back onto the logging camp to get more wood. I will try and just take it a little bit easier. Rietziger and Alex are bringing berries into town, which means we'll start getting multiple types of food being sold, which again will help our approval. But it's just it's impossible to pull your approval out of the toilet until you go to church. Okay, that is the burgage complete. We will now get a logging camp manned, and now again we have nobody able to build. But that's fine. Once we have our 5 planks, I think that's all we need. We'll move them out of the logging camp, and we'll get the church under construction here, or maybe here, possibly here, maybe over here, just away from all the industrial side of our town. It's also nice to put it very close to the marketplace, because the people closest to the marketplace and the church will be the ones that have their needs filled the best. Still up to 2 timber. It doesn't look like we've got any stone coming into the storehouse yet. They've got everything else. Firewood, planks, hides, leather, but no stone. They're also delivering from here now, which is great. So it means that the people working at things like the woodcutters lodge are no longer needing to transport firewood, although they are doing that at the moment. She's going to get some stone. That's excellent. And it looks that hopefully Game of Cain is going to get some stone as well. No, Game of Cain is on hide. So Game of Cain sent... who's Game of Cain sent to go and get stone? They sent the Neurosturgeon off to get stone while they're off to get hides in the rain. Okay, one more timber, we can start production on the church, which will really just make life a lot easier for us. Okay, let's take people out of the logging camp. Pause the game for a second, and let's work out where we can site our church. So I could put the church back here. I don't really like that position. We could try and squeeze... I mean, we could squeeze it in right there, which is very close to the market. And over time, these 2 buildings will go away. and I'll probably move the sawmill as well. So this will all become housing around the church. I think this is actually a really good spot for it. I mean, there's this weird bit here, but we can get rid of this road and just build some houses here. So I think I'm going to put the church here. It's also right next to the storehouse, which will make building it a lot easier. And now we just need to wait for them to put the insane amount of materials that this actually needs into it. How are we looking for approval? Approval's up to 41%, which is actually really good considering we don't have a church, but it's because it's a new month. We're in June, so we have actually hit summer. Let me just check on the puppy. I'll be 1 second. Right. As I thought, she'd snuck off to be bad. But I caught her before she got up to any mischief. She was being suspiciously quiet. One thing I quite like about the church is it has these extra roads that come out of it that you can connect to your road network, which make it kind of fit into the middle of the city much better. I really like the way that works. Okay, they've just killed the brigands. I missed the fight, and they've just flattened the brigand camp. So, the bandit camp. So there's no bandits on the map right now, and they've just gotten the income for that. That actually gives you a big chunk of regional wealth if you capture one of those camps. They just got there first. We need to be able to contest those in the future because that's how we're going to get a lot of regional wealth in the future once we've got the iron deposit strategy up and running. Okay. There's not a lot to do right now until this church is built, so we'll just kind of fast forward through its construction. The big problem is waiting for the stone to arrive. It's going to take ages. Neurosturgeon has some of it. I'm hoping our storehouse workers can move some of it in while everyone else brings the other materials in. Even in the rain, the game is quite pretty. I mean, look at the horizon here. I really want to show you some crazy combat. I want to get this whole town walled in with our banner as well when we get that built. I want to make this a really cool playthrough. And the first one was just going too easy. And I know we're not like losing right now, but this really is balancing on a knife edge. Okay, we have 6 months worth of fuel, finally. Hopefully people stop complaining about there not being enough. They actually, the approval is going up. The main thing we need to fix is the market, is the church situation. Once the church situation is sorted, we'll be in a great position. There's currently 10 stone in the storehouse, which means there's enough stone to build a wooden church. We probably have enough stone stockpile to also build our manor house as well. But I want to get the iron mine up and running first, and then I want to sell some of that iron so that we can get some regional wealth, and we can start upgrading some of these burgages. We'll probably make this one veggies, we'll maybe make this one chickens, make this one goats, and then these two will probably be a blacksmith and a tailor, and those will be our first 5 upgraded houses. And these will be the first 2 I bring to level 2, which will also take us to development 2, because that requires 5 normal level 1 plots and 2 level 2 plots. So we'll get a couple of extra houses, and that will get us to level 2, which will get us the infinite iron resource buff from this, so we don't have to worry about selling it. We just sell it indefinitely and not worry about ever running out. Oh, you coming to say sorry? Hi, puppy. Nope, you're leaving. You're gonna knock everything over. No. I'm just gonna go and move her bed through to the other room because she's clearly not happy staying in here with me since she's in trouble. Let's fast forward at max speed through the building of the church so we can move on to the next stage. Oh, I forgot I can't go at high speed if I turn the UI off. Now, one good thing about the church is you don't actually need anyone to work in it to provide its buff. The people working in it are actually gravediggers, so you don't actually need anyone working here until you have people that you need to bury. I thought that if you put someone in it, they became a minister, but your people will get the church buff without there being anyone working in the church, which is a lifesaver for this kind of challenge. Okay, that is a major milestone achieved, getting this church built. Okay, so we have our wooden church constructed. We have how much timber? We have no timber, so we need to get more timber. Our next 2 construction projects are, we need to get a mining pit, which will cost 1 timber, and we need to get a trading post, which will allow us to start trading iron. So we'll also need a road out to the iron deposit, which will probably come out the back of these houses here. But this is a huge moment. We are finally at the edge of being able to make ourselves some regional wealth. Now, we're not going to see a huge return on the church straight away, but it will start to tick through. I don't know why we have homelessness showing up as a malus. I don't know why that is there. It does appear sometimes. But as time goes by, the church will start to just make everyone ecstatic. They're going to be so happy that me, the great Lord Frost, has built them a church. I guess it is the ultimate opiate for the masses in this time. And that's just a very nice, idyllic scene. As soon as we've got one timber, I'll get the iron mine under construction. Now, we're going to need 2 families. That's going to be the hardest. We're going to need 2 families to run the iron deposit and the trading house. But the berries are seasonal, and they will start to run out soon. And then as soon as we've got enough regional wealth, we'll pull somebody off trading so that we can get our blacksmith and stuff constructed, and we'll go from there. And then I want to build the manor house once we're producing... how do we build shields, actually? What do we need for shields? Shields are built by the joiner's workshop. So we also need a joiner's workshop. So that's going to be tricky. So I need 3 of these. So I'll probably have to make this goats or something. These 3 here will have joiner, tailor, and blacksmith. And I'm guessing the joiner's going to need a steady supply of planks to work with. So that's also something to bear in mind. Still don't have any timber yet from our logging camp. We'll speed up again. We can enjoy the town and their environs when we're safer. We need to get this up to about 60%, maybe even 70% before people start moving in. So it will be a little bit of time, because it kind of, the previous affects it a little bit. You have to get rid of that history of unhappiness. Okay, we've got 2 timber, so we'll now build a mining camp. A mining pit on the iron deposit, and we'll connect that up to the town. I'll just kind of come like, we'll come out and then round, just so it doesn't, it looks, actually, we'll just do like this. Just doesn't look too unnatural. And then ideally, I think we really want to move the saw pit. It's in an awkward place. I can't relocate it though. Oh, I can actually relocate it for free. Okay, that's good to know for later. Can I relocate the tannery? I can't relocate the tannery. I can't relocate the storehouse, but I can relocate the saw pit. I can also relocate the woodcutter's lodge. That's excellent. We have no one able to build. That's okay. As soon as we get another 1 timber, we'll pull a team off the lumber yard and they can be our constructors. But I need that 4 timber to build the trading post. I think it would be quite cute to put the trading post near the marketplace, just to kind of make this the financial center of our town. It would be great if it could fit into here, actually. We just need 1 more timber, though. There we go. We're at 51% approval. For the first time, we're in mid-July, and we have positive approval. This is where the game starts to turn around for us. Forager's Hut is full, so it's they're really struggling to bring this stuff out. So getting a granary will also be a good idea. That's 2 wood, 10 stone. If I wait until I've got 6 wood, let's get a granary constructed, because we can move all the food in there. Let's put the granary, I'm thinking, quite close to the market, like the storehouse. I mean, I could squeeze it in here, but at least I want to try and fill all these spaces in. That's not a bad place for it. We'll build it there. And then we also have the 4 for the trading post, which is actually very, wow, the trading post is a large building. It needs to have resources brought to us. I think putting it next to the storehouse is actually a really good place to put it, because then we can load those things from the storehouse straight into the trading post. Let's just put it here on the road. That will do. And what we'll do is I'll stop gathering berries, because they're starting to run out anyway, and we'll get them to start filling everything into the... That little voice line always gets me. So I don't think this is under construction yet, yeah. Oh, have I told them to actually stop working here yet? No, I haven't. Okay, so we have some construction for everybody to do. Whoa. Okay. Oh, no. No. Okay, phew. So weather will destroy anything that isn't stored inside the storage of a building. But for a second there, I thought the weather had completely destroyed the 50 berries we had in here, and that would probably be game over. But it's just the excess So if we check here, I think we don't actually have any extra excess here either. But if we did, also, what's going on with the storehouse? I guess they're still loading up all the stone, which is what's taking them so long. Okay, they've cleared it all out, but that's probably why they haven't managed to clear out all the hides from here yet. Alright. Looks like they're maybe going to be building the granary first, which actually I think I want to be a priority construction. And we'll just speed up again. See, what's great is the storehouse workers using the wheeled carts just means more resources move around, and it just makes life so much simpler. As soon as we get another villagers, another family moving in, life will get simpler too. Who's working on this? Marksman's working on building the granary. And also coming is Zinc and Cool S. In the rain. This has been a pretty rainy summer actually so far. I think someone's bringing over some stone maybe? Yeah. Transporting stone, but not to here. Where are they taking the stone? Oh, that's Firehood. Someone was walking with stone maybe. I'm not sure where I saw that stone. Well, they're transporting stone now. I think they just carry the stone on their backs when they're bringing it to a construction site, even though they use the handcart to take it from the main area. This keeps happening because a new month or someone goes to buy something and it's not available yet. We haven't built up a stockpile of it, but our approval's gone up to 62%. And you see what's interesting is the clothing market supply is still showing +7, even though the clothing stall is abandoned and nobody's working at it because there's nobody in the tannery. Although I think this gets worked out by storehouse workers now. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Okay, the granary just needs more stone brought to it, which they are bringing. The stone will take a while. Lots of firewood coming. Looks like a road around here might help. Well, what we'll eventually do, I think, is put a burgage here and here, and then we'll be able to take this shortcut anymore. The other option is I connect this road up and then take a shortcut through the church, maybe? I'm not sure. We'll start actually doing some town planning. Okay, that's August come around. Also, we can't hire mercenaries without regional wealth. Well, actually, without treasury, which we can't get without taxing the regional wealth of our people. So that's another reason why we need to get regional wealth up and running. Okay, one more stone and we can get the granary under construction. And we still have 16 stone in our storehouse, which is enough for a manor. But we will need more planks for that. I'm excited to get to the next stage of this. Really excited to get to the next stage of this. I'm worried that I've been recording for too long. That's my only concern. It's been quite a big session, but I wanted to get a lot covered. And I feel like I've properly given myself a difficult challenge here. So we're going to take these guys out of the forger hub. 50 berries is more than enough to get through this winter. And we'll get them working in the granary. Upgrade to a large granary, that's right. So they will start getting food from these two locations. What else do I have under construction? I've got the trading post under construction, and I don't think we've got requirements for the mining pit yet. Okay, we have actually. We just need someone to come and finish it. Okay, let's have a look at watch this get built. We started with absolutely nothing. And we're still making pretty good time. Okay, the trading post is finished. I'm not going to set this up yet. But basically, when you get into trade, you can set what you want to trade. There's minor trades and there's major trades. You need to set a route up for the major trades. Ooh, can I actually sell iron? That's something I haven't checked. Wool, malt, iron slab? Is that what you get from the... Yeah. I think iron slabs are what you get from the mining pit, so we're good there. Is the mining pit done yet? Or is it here? It's under construction. Who's working on it? I can't see because of the way the game works. We've got Zinc, Cool S, and that's probably Zinc, Max Marksman. Come on, let's get this mining pit finished. Okay, so the mining pit is done. Let's assign a family to work here. And then we need to assign somebody to the trading post as well. So who can we pull? So right now, this family are working at the firewood, at the woodcutter, which I don't think we can afford to stop, although maybe we could. We've got this family working as miners. We've got this family working as warehouse workers. I can't take them off the job. The granary workers we also can't take off the job. The hunters, I think we can, because we've got a really good stockpile of food right now. So Mara Vinny, Andrew Whitebird, and Bobo Ox, you are going to stop working here, and you're going to start working here. And to trade, I want to trade iron slabs. Desired surplus, look, set to no trade. How do I fix that? Establish a trade route. After, oh, we need to pay to establish a trade route. What, is there anything we can do without establishing a trade route? I didn't realize. Oh no. I didn't realize I needed to pay to establish the trade route. I thought I could just sell stuff. Oh wait, no, I can't. I can yes, we're okay. We're okay. That's fine. I can set. Phew. I knew there was a way to do this. I can set this to export, and I can just say. I think this will current surplus is 0. Desired surplus is 0. We'll get 4 for each iron slab. And then after paying to establish a trade route, a dedicated traveling merchant will regularly visit the region to trade only the specific type of good. So when we get 24 regional wealth, we can start selling more iron. I'm not sure if I need to change the surplus here. We'll see what happens when we actually start producing some iron. So we need to wait for someone to produce some iron here. Which we know, this is iron ore, not iron slabs. So I actually need to sell the iron ore. Can I sell the iron ore? Food, apples, iron ore, yes. Export, okay. So I don't want a surplus. I think that means I will sell all of it. We will see. And I do not want to sell iron slabs. Actually, iron slabs are only worth 1 more than iron ore. Desired surplus. I'm just not sure if this means I want to sell the iron. Like, if this is going to sell the iron or not. We'll wait and see if we sell any. I'm just going to speed time up and see what happens. There's nothing we can really do right now until the iron gets delivered to the storehouse and then gets moved into the trading post. So I have to wait for someone to actually come and pick it up. There's nothing in the storage here, and there's no iron in the storage here yet. But I'm guessing there needs to be an amount. Okay, someone has picked the iron up. Transporting meat. Someone is transporting iron somewhere. Transporting iron ore. Okay. So Game of Cain is bringing the iron ore over to the storehouse. And it has now been stored in the storehouse. So someone will come from the storehouse and put it into the trading post at some point. I think that... No, it looks like they're waiting. Who's this? Okay, this is a trader, I think. He just... Who's he? He just did a thing. There's no iron ore in here yet. Okay, the iron ore has now been delivered into the trading post. So we now need to wait for a trader to come and hopefully buy the iron ore. And that is where we'll end the video, once we get that confirmation that we've sold the iron ore. Also, we're up to 65% approval, which means we will hopefully get a new family moving in soon. Fingers crossed. I really need more families at this point. That's going to be a huge game changer for us. We now have 81 firewood. We can probably stop work at the woodcutter's lodge and maybe just cut a few more trees because we need to get some timber going. Is this a trader coming? This could be a trader because I can't select them. Yes, this guy here is a trader. Because I can't select him or mouse over him. We have four iron ore, sir. Come and buy our iron ore. Yes, please, buy the iron ore. He sold the iron ore. We have 15 regional wealth. Yes! That's it. We've done it. We have cracked the starter resources. I didn't actually know... none of my test games made it this far. I didn't know if that was actually possible. This means that we can now upgrade our burgages to have special properties, which is going to be essential to make it through the next stage of the game. We have until January to get our people armed. So that's our next difficult step. But I'm going to save that for the next video. This has been more than enough. Please let me know if you enjoyed this. I'm sorry if it's kind of retreading old ground, but trust me, the next video will be going over some totally new stuff, and I wanted to set the foundation correctly for this one. This is our little town. What do we want to call it? That's the main thing. Anyone who comments on this video will get their, once I've cleared up the people from the first video, will get their names put into villagers as well. And for my retinue, I'm going to use people who've supported the channel, just so you're aware. Don't worry, High Fleet, Xenonauts 2, all of that's still going. I'm going to be streaming Terra Invicta tomorrow night. I'll put the stream up if you're interested in that, because there's been a new patch for it. And I'll still be streaming Unicorn Overlord as well. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I apologize if that was hectic. I had an actual blast recording this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now. See ya.